Hello YouTube, Sidekick here with a bit of a different video. This video is an introduction to a new mission that is in itself an introduction to my bombing range. If you have watched any of my videos, you know that I spend a lot of time on this range. Now, I have made that mission in various versions available for a while, and I'm used to it, but I know that it's not always obvious to players what's going on under the hood, and maybe that makes it a little bit hard to get the most out of it. Especially for players that are new to DCS as a whole. So I made this video as kind of an orientation to the range. You know, kind of like you showed up at the training range and this is the first flight to give you over the range to kind of show you where things are and how things work. In fact, I actually kind of hope that it will be the first mission in, let's call it an iron bombing basics kind of tutorial campaign that I'm working on, but it's a long way from ready yet, but I thought that this introduction, or range orientation, would still be something that might be useful. It's a pretty basic mission. If you're already familiar with the bombing range and the target impact tracking script, which is really at the heart of the range, thank you again, Draken, then you probably won't find much here that you don't know. But if you're new to the range, and especially if you're new to DCS, hopefully this will give you an introduction you can build on so that you can use the range for your own practice sessions. I will release the mission along with the base range mission so that once you have flown this a couple of times, you can go use the base mission to build your own flights and basically fly any way you like. Now the mission is going to feature a choice of 3 aircraft, the AV-8B Harrier, the F-18 Hornet, and the A-10A Warthog. I chose these because they are, at least for my money, the easiest aircraft in DCS from which to drop unguided bombs. And the F-18 is very popular, I know, and, you know, let's face it, the Harrier is the Harrier. And then the A-10A, because it's an FC-3 aircraft, is a pretty inexpensive entry point to DCS, and maybe that's a good choice for new players. So I hope this provides a mix that a lot of players, especially new players, can access. The video that follows is going to be a little different in that it's just going to be a straight playthrough of the mission. All of the narration that you will hear in the video itself comes from sound files in the mission itself. The mission uses the A-10A, the playthrough does anyways, but as I said, you can fly it in any of the other aircraft and it should play exactly the same way. Now you should note that the mission doesn't really provide a whole lot of help with setting up the aircraft or the weapon system. And I kind of assume that you're going to get that from other sources, since after all this is your first day at the range. I assume you know how to actually fly the aircraft. The actual mission also doesn't provide a lot of guidance on dropping bombs accurately either, but there are some notes in the mission planner that might help you if you want to take a look at those. As always, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, or you can drop by the Discord channel, and I'm sure that we'll be able to help you out there. And so with that, I'm just going to say welcome to the Iron Bombing Test Range. Have a good flight.
Ready? Cleared for startup.
Welcome to the Iron Bombing Range Orientation Mission. Let's pause the sim and talk about what we're going to do today. To skip this intro, press spacebar at any time. The point of the bombing test range is to provide a simple, easy set of targets so that you can practice your bombing skills in the same environment every time with no distractions and with few variables. The range consists of several static targets that you can engage pretty much in any way you choose. Now, dropping unguided weapons, especially from early aircraft in DCS, is a skill that has to be practiced if you want to improve. And in order to get better, you have to practice under consistent conditions and using consistent techniques so that you can learn what adjustments to make to improve your results. So, the Iron Bombing Test Range has been instrumented to help you assess and track your results. The instrumentation on the range is provided by a Lua script called the Target Impact Tracking script that tracks every weapon you drop. After every run, the script will not only tell you how accurate your drop was, but it will also report several other parameters of your attack run. Used correctly, it will be a big help in improving your results. We'll talk more about the data that the Target Impact Tracker provides once we get out to the range. Now, the flight today is going to be pretty simple. We're going to take off to the east from Coboletti. We're We're going to turn north and head towards the eastern side of the range. We're going to fly around the back of the range and turn west along the back so that we can get a good look at the targets. Then we're going to fly an approach to one of the targets by flying around the range to the west and eventually coming back across the front of the range to the south of the target. We'll roll in on the target from the south, drop our weapon, and then take a look at the target impact tracker results to see how we did. That'll be the end of the scripted part of the mission. If you still have bombs left, you can make more runs on any of the targets on the range. Once you're done, you can fly back to Kobuleti and end the mission. One other point to note, this isn't a training video about how to employ your weapons, so I'm going to assume that you know how to set up your weapons correctly and to get fenced in to get prepared to drop them. I'll let you know when it's time to fence in. Okay, let's head out to the runway.
Mahawk 1-1. Kobuleti, clear to taxi to runway 7.
Line up and take off to the east and start your climb out. Our operating altitude will be 8,000 feet today. If you'd like to complete the rest of the mission without any more narration, there'll be an F10 menu to cancel the narration messages after you take off.
Mahawk 1-1. Unable to clear for takeoff. Mahawk 1-1. Kobuleti, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.86.
Okay, you're approaching waypoint 2. Select waypoint 3, turn to the northwest and fly towards it, and continue to climb until you reach 8,000 feet. Okay, we're entering the range area. You can fence in now if you like. You may notice that you receive a message from the range indicating that you've been cleared in hot. That message is from the target impact tracking script and indicates that it's ready to start tracking your bombs. Now, up ahead, you should see a green helper gate. Head for that now. You're approaching the gate for waypoint 3. You can select waypoint 4. At the gate, ahead, turn to the west and maintain 8,000 feet and look for the next helper gate. Once you're stabilized on course, have a look to the left. You should be able to see the range immediately to the left. The range has 3 sections. The easternmost section of the range consists of 3 25-meter ring targets, along with guidelines to help you line up on those targets. The central part of the range consists of some building targets surrounded by a rectangular fence, and the western section of the range contains a large single 50-meter target, along with guidelines and range markers. So we're flying behind the range on the north side. When you attack the targets, though, on the range, you'll always want to do it from the south, and you'll egress in this direction. Okay, fly through the next helper gate and turn to the south. Select waypoint 5. Maintain 8,000 feet and pick up the next helper gate. Once you're established, look over your left shoulder and identify target number 1, the vehicle in the center of the large circle. It has a green helper gate. That's our target for this run. We're going to fly a bit farther south, then turn left across the front of the range and roll in on that target from the south. Okay, fly through the next gate, turn east, maintain 8,000 feet, and look for the next gate. You can also set waypoint 6. Line up on the gate and look to the left to pick up your target. Once you fly through the gate, wait until you're in position and start your roll in. Good luck. Okay, here are your results. Of course, the first thing you'll want to check is your accuracy. The location of each bomb impact is provided with a range and a clock direction from the target. The target impact tracking script results also provide a number of other useful pieces of data about your approach and roll-in, though. In particular, you may want to look at your release altitude. It's not only important to be able to drop accurately, you're also going to want to increase the height from which you drop, since that'll be the key to survivability, especially in scenarios where there's a lot of AAA. Some of the other information, such as your dive attitude, can also help you diagnose problems you might be having, and they'll also help you get consistent on your approach and roll-in, which really is the key to dropping bombs accurately. Restart the sim when you're ready. If you would like to keep using the range and you have bombs left, feel free to go around as many times as you like. The helper gates will stay visible if they're of any use to you. When you're done, just end the mission. Okay guys, Sidekick here live again. Hope you enjoyed that playthrough on this mission. The mission will be available on my Discord server. So drop by there if you want to pick it up or if you have any questions about this. And I hope you get some use out of it. I'm just going to go back and drop a few more bombs. So for now, this is going to be Sidekick, signing off.